Well, hello guys, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for tuning in to the great channel, Memory Lane TV with Dante D. There's a few things that are on my agenda or on the history list. One that happened every year, I would say. And this one, I kind of want to zoom in on the children, those who are in school, and then the one that happened 4 years ago. Now, there is something that happened every 4 years, but this one here is kind of interesting. So, all right, again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, like the comment and share as well, folks. Now, let's talk about the one that we're zooming in on, the children. We're talking about this holiday hangover right now, folks. Now, again, when I was in elementary school, middle school, and a little bit through high school, folks, when the Christmas holidays was over and that New Year's Day was over, folks, and whatever Monday lied on, I had to go back to school. Woo, I just didn't want to do it, folks. Folks, I just didn't want to do it. You talking about literally depression mode had kicked in. It was a complete culture shock, I would say, or a complete shock on the way I do things. Now, remember, I shot the segment on when children are so happy to get out of school for those holidays. Pretty good 2 weeks, right? And they are so happy. Now, the reverse comes when it's time to go back to school, right? Now, again, as I take you down memory lane, folks, I just go back to my days where I had the Nintendo, all right, and you're playing Mario, you're playing Contra, all right, Double Dribble, whatever the game was on those holidays, you're playing that all day, all right? You wake up playing it, okay? You go to sleep playing it, okay? Food and everything was secondary when it came to those toys for the youngins, and then for those in the adolescents who had the video games, the basketball goals, the bicycles, all those things. Those were number one on the list, okay? Again, for me, who was a C student, a student that did decent, but didn't do a lot of studying. And so over those holidays, a lot of taking naps, a lot of eating, but again, a lot of not doing anything on an education level. And so I became used to it, or we, I would say, you know, brother, cousins, so on and so forth, came so used to just doing nothing around the house. And when New Year's came around, I said, oh, it's about time to go back to school now. And so now we counting the days down. Okay, you have that Saturday, you have that Sunday, and you know Monday was coming back around, folks. Now, of course, you had some nice clothes to go back to school. That was great, whether it was the Jordans, okay, the Flights, the Penny Hardaways, okay, the whatever kind of Air Max you had. Okay, those Charles Barkley's had those as well, and you look forward to that. But other than that, whew, I just didn't want to go back up in there, folks. I mean, it was really, really hard because now I had to get back to school. Okay, now I had to get back to doing my work. And so kind of transitioning that on to today's time, again, this great channel, which we're doing some great things, myself personally, doing some mentoring and some tutoring. And then one thing I will be doing with the children is asking them, how was your day? Let me brighten this up a little bit. How was your day, you know, after those holidays? And just trying to get a response from them to see where their head is, okay? How did you feel, all right, when you had to go back? And of course, I may get the normal, everything was good, blah, blah, blah. One thing we can say, folks, that 20 years ago or even 25 plus 30 years ago, things are very, very different on how we interact with our parents and uncles and aunties and grandparents. Most of us, some of you may argue differently, but for most of us, we would say that communication was a little bit better in terms of how we talked and interacted with one another. You know, getting out of school, even if you had to work, there was some back and forth going on and how you communicated. In today's time, folks, we know that has diminished big time, all right? Some may blame it on technology and say due to the cell phones, due to the computer, TVs, all these other things that really, really have their attention. That may be one of the things as well, folks. And again, this platform here is designed to really just reach out to families and including the youth as well on how they interact with one another, okay? And so that's one of the things here hopefully you will be a part of, folks. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting there. Another part now, the thing that we usually endure every 4 years, but again, this one here was very, very different, folks. And this marks the 4th year of the Capitol protest, or the attack, I may say, or the bombarding, as many may claim to be. Now, again, there are people on both sides of the spectrum. Some say it was very, very bad. Others may say it wasn't that bad if you compared it with other events that happened around the globe or around the country that has been happening. All right, whatever it is, folks, I just want you to just think about these two things. Again, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. Now, this channel isn't for those who want to be reactive and just, you know, be sad about, but this channel here is about being very, very proactive and unifying as well. So that's what it is. But I just want you to think on these two things right here. Question number one, where were you when those events took place? And then number two, what was your response? Those are the two questions I want to leave you with. Here's mine right here. I was at work when it happened. The second question to the answer is, my response was, wow, is that really true? Did this lady really report the news that she's telling me right now? Because I was reported it back through a coworker. And so with that being said, I just wanted to leave you with that. It's an interesting moment in our history that is in the books forever, folks. Again, whatever side of the spectrum you own, hopefully you will just continue to unify with one another. Again, that's what this is all about. But if nothing else, folks, again, we're doing so many great things with families and so many great things that we're also doing with the youth and also seniors as well. So again, I'm still reaching out for your support at this time. Didn't mention why I'm shooting this in the car right now, but the wind out there is crazy, folks. I mean, it's about 42 degrees, but with that wind chill, it feels at least about 36. I was going to shoot a segment out there and walk along the park and just really reflect back with the school letting out, and then watching the school buses letting y'all see parents and children roam to the cars or just walk home, whatever. But it was too cold out there, folks. It is freezing out there. Now, meanwhile, I have this chili that's been going on this morning since about 8 o'clock, folks. 8 o'clock. Did something a little bit different than the ground beef. I got turkey sausage in there with the red beans. All right, I did a chili mix, and I can't wait to get back to it tonight. So hopefully when I get home, it will be ready. I usually don't eat late, but had a lot of work to do, running a whole lot of errands, folks. And I got that going with that Jiffy cornbread. And those are memories for you, folks. Those are memories that my grandmother used to always make. I don't care what kind of corn